Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect with a little bit of a twist. Today's beverage is a quite interesting chamomile, fennel and cucumber infusion. Not too bad at all. So you may be aware that we've had many different versions and releases, patches, etc. throughout the year of Prison Architect, ranging from the quite feature-limited alpha in 2012 up to the DLC-rich, almost bloated game that we have today. However, you may or may not be aware that there is a way to play older versions on Steam now. You can go into the properties of the game and then to the beta tab and change the game to the original introversion full release from early access in 2015 all the way up to the 2018 version, which I think is the last introversion release before Paradox got it. So I thought it would be quite interesting to take a look at one of those builds. This is actually the 2015 version, and I'm just going to play and see what it is like. Obviously, there is a lot of things that will be missing, especially the DLC side of it, so obviously no islands, no cleared for transfer stuff. Obviously, the psych ward stuff as well, that's all gone, but there's been a lot of stuff added and chopped and changed since then as well. So it'll be nice to go back and take a look at it. So you can see, obviously, foundations, we have limited options, materials, and the rooms and objects, in fact, are very lean. It's a much leaner game that we have now. So we have, obviously, only a limited amount of objects. Rooms, we still do have some more advanced stuff when you compare it to, obviously, a lot older versions. So we have library and armory and shop and mailroom, things like that, and reception, etc. But we don't have a lot of the extra stuff that we've seen with the modern releases. In terms of staffing, similar sort of thing. We have utilities, which is... Actually, I think a lot of these screens have obviously changed and such, and emergencies are, well, back to fire engine, riot police, and paramedics. Anyway, let's go over to escape here and go to create new prison, small map, turning Foggerwater off because it's just better for you to watch. We do still have the option for selecting wardens and such, but we're going to go with basic there. We are going to generate forests, we are not going to generate buildings, fairly conditions are on, we're not going to have gangs on, but we will put events on, and then we'll click play. So let's see what we have here. We have obviously the very base layout, people are coming in. We also have some intake there as well, which we can change. So obviously the original version, you just got a set amount of prisoners coming in each day, which was problematic to say the least. Anyway, I'm just going to go to dismantle object and dismantle all of these trees here just to get some cash. I'm not going to be going for a big planning session here. I'm just going to play the game a little bit and see what it is like. I also don't particularly want to remove that light there. Oh, I believe that has changed. So in the more modern game, it's a different look for that one. This is like sort of lined paper there. I guess the CEO notes are similar. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly the same. Let's go over to grants here and we'll pick up basic detention center and the probably administration center. We can only go for 2 grants for the time being. So we have deliveries and garbage. We're going to go over to rooms and then get exports, although I'll type it a bit better there, and we'll place that like so, and that is about right. And then obviously we can export all of these. I'll max the speed out to allow them to crack on, and I'm just going to go up to foundation, building brick, and crack on with the building. So like I said, this is got no particular set of like requirements in for the building. I'm just building it as I see fit. So let's just have like a sort of reception-y entranceway here, and we'll have, you know, then the cells sort of going off. Normally, if this was like a full build series, we'd spend the first episode planning, next episode refining that design, starting working on grants, taking in feedback, etc. But this is not that. This is just sort of almost a nostalgia trip for me to check out and see what the game is like. Let's go for a large jail door on the front there. You can see that obviously the generation of the foundations is slightly different. Originally, you wouldn't be able to do this at all. It would completely glitch out, and so I've had problems with pathfinding, that sort of thing. But it is still a little bit smarter in this part here. So there is our entranceway, which will be good. Let's go over to our rooms and reception. We're going to clicky, draggy, and get the reception put in. Over to objects, and you do note it still highlights what objects are required for this. So that is pretty good. We're going to have some tables across there, and I think that is about right for our reception. Oh, we also need like a power room as well, don't we? So let's go ahead and build that, and I'm going to build it pretty much down here. So let's go ahead and say power room, which will be a 12 by 12. No, I don't think I need it that large really. Probably 8 by 10 should be sufficient. That will have a staff door on it. Obviously, in terms of doors and such, we only have certain options, and we don't actually have a separate tab for doors now, which still confuses me to this day. We also need some offices as well, so I think we'll build some offices down the bottom. We don't have any quick build option as well, you may notice that, so there's no quick build option there. Offices are, I believe, a 4x4. They are a 4x4 size, so we'll go to foundations, building brick, and then we're just going to have probably a 6x6, 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 and that fits in quite nicely. Although, can I just clone it? I probably can clone it, but what I'll do is build these offices, and then, well, I'll build one of them, and then I'll sort of model it off from there. Auto lighting is on, which is fine. You can obviously turn that. You can still turn that on and off in this version as well, which I thought was a more modern feature, but apparently not. Let's go over utilities here, and I think I've actually made it. Yes, it's actually one too short. That's a shame. Oh, it's because it didn't line up with this here. It was supposed to line up with that one. Whoops, it doesn't really matter. Let's go to utilities, power station, put that power station in there. Capacitors can run along. The water pump can go probably down there. It's a little bit cramped, but there you go, it is what it is. And then electrical cables, which will go up into here and probably across, because I'm going to put a metal detector in this building, and then we're going to go down into there to power all of those up, and that should be pretty much sorted. So we've spent a bit of money. We still have a total of 39,510 generic units of currency, and obviously they are still removing and selling the trees, so obviously we're working on that part as well. We'll go through the grants and then obviously build extra stuff. I'm going to get prisoners probably within the next couple of days just to see how they operate. But obviously things like our deployment isn't even in there. So, you know, we have to be fairly careful on what and how we build. This is pretty much like I used to build prisons back in the day. I mean, but even when we played some of the very first ones, I did roughly have a plan. I don't think I've played sort of free form for, well, a considerable amount of time, certainly. And I think there's some... I think it's quite liberating to just click and drag and play and just go and eyeball it rather than worry about the minute details that, on the grand scheme of things, probably don't really matter at all. Anyway, over to rooms and to our office. We will obviously designate all of those as offices there, and each one will require some desks, which I'll put in, I think, there. Filing cabinet up the top. We have got lights in, so that's fine, and then a chair in there as well. Over to... Oh, there's no cloning, is there? Is there not? Planning... No, there is clone, but you have to unlock the clone. Interesting. I will... quite simply build the offices then, because it's not going to take me too long. In fact, I would guesstimate it'll probably take less than 10 seconds to do all of these, and yeah, pretty much that was the case. Okay, reception is now in. We can, if we want to, place some metal detectors, and I will put those about there, which is now sorted. Obviously give us a little bit more protection there. We have a warden, or rather we've got an office, so now we can hire a warden, and we need to unlock finance through bureaucracy and then hire an accountant. So we'll go for this is a corkboard on the back here, finance, and I think we'll also go for health, maintenance and security. We'll just get the rest unlocked because we may as well. Right, so off from the area here, what I'm going to do is have a foundation that runs pretty much across like that. I think that will suffice, and I'm going to have maybe a yard that comes off here, and then we'll have something at the back for obviously where the prisoners will be staying, otherwise known as a cell block. We also need somewhere for them to eat, which is probably going to be down here. In fact, I might put that in now. Let's go ahead and build a quite large building. This is a 22 by 16, but honestly the size I'm not really concerned about. I think that is roughly in the middle, but don't really know if it is or not. That should do the job. Over to our objects, yes, and then staff door. Staff door will go on the bottom there, and then I'll put some other stuff at the top. Go to planning, and ooh, this is sort of heresy playing this version of the game and doing some measuring. It is in the middle. The eyeball did work out. That does require an entrance, so we'll put a large jail door there, large jail door there, and sadly this does not function, so what I'll have to do is place a door in... Oh, actually that is nowhere near large enough. Let's do that, and that should hopefully connect up, and that's exactly what it's done, which is surprising. Anyway, it does say hire an accountant, so we can do just that. So one accountant, which will go in there, and that gives us one of the grants completed. I will pick up the long-term investment, pick up as well from this extra grant, and probably a bank loan as well, in order for us to get the short-term investment. But let's continue on here. This is obviously our kitchen and canteen, so we'll designate them as such. So canteen will be built along there, and then the kitchen will go along there. As always, though, I have made this probably too large, but that's not a problem. There we go. And what else do we need? That's probably about it. Let's get the bare minimum in place. So serving tables will go along here. 1, 2. Darn it, if this was one further down, we would be able to change that, but it isn't, so we can't, and now it's now. Probably put them, like, I don't know. Do you want to put them either side? We could put them either side, but I don't think so. I think down the bottom there is more than sufficient. We'll have a bin in, because we can. In the kitchen, we're going to have a cooker. 1, 2, 3. Probably a couple of these fridges at the back there, and then sinks we'll need to place 1 and then 2. That should hopefully do the job, but let's run some water. So water pipe I'll run at the moment. I don't really need to run it very far. I think just across here and then up, and then from that section we're going to go across, and let's just connect them up like that. Power cable, similar thing, right across and then right down to connect those up, and then we got some power there. So we have a kitchen, we have not technically got a canteen, so let's get in the canteen spirit here. So a bench will go there and there, and a table will go there. Obviously table down there, and then table down there, I think. Is that about right? It would be that, wouldn't it? A little bit cramped, but it's fine. It will do the job quite nicely. And then a table. There you go. So we got all this done, and obviously planning hasn't been a thing. We've just been building it. Let's go ahead and put in a... I think we'll put a yard in. So we're going to have a fence come up and then across and then down to about there, which should be fine. We'll have a door that goes in here as well. So a large jail door will go there, and then this will become a yard. So obviously still working on these. Oh, I don't actually know where the rest of that goes. From there, does it? Okay, so walls. I think that's where it is. Let me just double check. Yes, it is. So rooms and the yard. Yard. Up to... Is it there? I'm going to guesstimate that's about right. And I think it is, actually. Oh, that bug's still in there. You have to close it and open it and click on these two to change that. But I think I got that. Did I get that correct, that yard? Let's have a look. Yes, I think I got that correct. Yard, yeah, that's about right. Inside the yard, it doesn't actually require anything, so we're not going to bother putting anything in there. Let's probably extend out with a building brick here, and I'm going to build up like so, and I think that's probably too large for a cell block. We'll probably have a cell block, something like that. Okay, and then obviously they'll crack on building this. It doesn't require an entrance because there's already sort of this section here, so we'll just wait for that. I should also now be able to pick up the short-term investment or the inmate health and well-being. I'll probably go for staff well-being initiative, which requires 5 guards without assigned duties and a staff room. So the staff room should hopefully be a relatively easy task. We'll put it on the back here, obviously with a staff door. I haven't put any walkways or anything. That's just something I haven't bothered. We also haven't had a look at the regime, which is apparently full of lockup. There's a lot of lockup in that one. Let's just change it all to free time, as we so often do. And first thing we'll have is a shower. We'll have a bit of free time, followed by a couple of hours of eat, and then we also have work/free time. We'll just have free time up until we have some lockup. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 hours of lockup. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 hours of eat on the end there, and that is pretty much job done. Okay, over to our... Oh, hang on. Have we got a problem there? Yeah. So for some reason in rooms, it's still got that open in the back, so that bug's still there at least. So this is After all, quite quite accurate to the game. Let's go ahead and add in some cell blocks. So we are going to build down here in a sort of L shape. And these are going to be our cells. And just, I guess, it's coincidence that we've managed to actually build them in the right size. So a standard 3x2 format is all we have here. Over to rooms and then cells. And they haven't actually built it all yet, so I'll wait a little while. We have £6,000 in order to build the staff room and have at least 5 guards on duty. Guards are 500, so we actually only have, well, a lot less time. We actually have less money than that, really, because I need to build said staff room. So let's check out staff room. And that has now been generated. So staff room, minimum size is 4x4. It's a 4x something. So that is now in. Each staff room requires a drinks machine. So I'll put a drinks machine there. And a wide sofa. So I'll just put a wide sofa on the opposite side. And that should be pretty much okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hang on. How many guards? I've got 5 guards, but it says have at least 5 guards without assigned duties. Yep, that's now correct. And once the staff room's in, that should be another £1,000, so that's enough money. Good. Let's continue on with the building. And I've just realised that these guys are all stuck in. Whoops, let me sort that out. So objects, large jail door, that'll go in there. And in terms of rooms, cells, we're going to sort of drag down that side. And we'll build all of these cells. So we'll require beds, so we'll just sort of bring these up like that. Obviously it's going to error out while I'm doing a lot of this because it's saying that, quite rightly, there's no way for them to get in or out, so that's a big problem for them. And toilets will go up there. These will obviously have to have a connection to the water, which we've already established, so that'll go across, and then water will go right up to there. Naturally, this bit here is problematic because they can easily tunnel out of that, so we're going to have to check that out later on. We need to build a shower and a holding cell. We obviously have at the moment neither, so we'll go to building brick and down a little bit, and then we'll have in a shower there. Oh, did I actually not have enough money? 2 to there. And then, do we need 2? No, just the 1 will be fine. And then there's a 8x12. That should do nicely. And that'll be our shower. And let's see if we can get an entrance in there. That should be done. It says require an entrance. Once that's done, I'm hoping it's going to be all in. Utilities, electrical cable. Just run that up a little bit, up to the top there. That should be fine. We're going to get a couple of... Well, we need a chief. We need a foreman, but we need 2 cooks more than anything else. That's still requiring an entrance. Okay, easy way to do that is to simply get a door. Place a door in, and let's see what that does. This one also requires an entrance, because it's also not large enough, so there and there, and that should get that sorted. Going to dismantle that door at the bottom. And also going to demolish that wall, like so. And that'll allow, obviously, people to get in and go around. Brick wall will go on there. And this is a shower. There's that shower. Shower heads. Up and down. Oops. Like that. Drains on the bottom. No weather and temperature, no nothing like that. So we don't need to worry about anything like that. Okay, I need a holding cell. Let's go ahead and add in a holding cell in here, maybe? Do I want a holding cell? Sort of do want a holding cell there. 5x5, so it has to be 7x7 internal. And that'll be our holding cell. Bit of a strange place to put a holding cell. And we've also got wall right next to this. But, you know, it is what it is. We're free-forming it. We're not thinking about it too much. That's the point. You know what? I think intake, medsec. We only have daily. How many prisoners can we hold? 8. Let's get 8 prisoners. 4 grand. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Don't think we have enough to finish off this holding cell. No, we have 299 generic units of currency. Nowhere near enough to finish this thing off. I'm going to lock open that door. I'm going to lock open that door, that door, that door, and that door. These ones, not so much. And that should be fine. But obviously, we haven't yet set up a way for them to, like, be told where not to go. So I haven't got anything like the deployment. I haven't got staff-only zones. None of that. None of that has been utilised. Oh, that's actually the wrong size. I should have had a wall across there. But we now have some inmates. There's our first inmates there. Not too bad at all. Let's go to materials, brick wall. Brick wall will go down to there. A jail door will be placed on there, followed by the holding cell. And the holding cell requires minimum size of 5x5. It needs a toilet and a bench. So the bench will go there. And the toilet will go in that corner there. Obviously, a water pipe is required, and I don't know whether it will reach. I'll run the pipe down to there, and then we'll do that. Obviously, we do have the grant now completed, which is good, so we can go turn off our intake over to grants cell block A, which is bring the capacity to 15. We're already getting there. I do want to unlock... where would it be? Patrols, armory, deployment. I need to unlock deployment, so I will get for that a foreman and a chief. However, we don't have the officers for at least one of them, so where can I put the other officers? It would be nice to put them on the back here, but are we capable of doing that? We will, let's say, go to be a bit heretical here, but yes, the clone tool... the planning tool will work. So building brick, building brick, building brick. This will require an entrance, which we'll put on the left-hand side there. So at least we've got now the people being escorted to their cells and such. So that's always good. Although we are waiting for doors to open and close because, naturally, no automatic door openers, no patrols, nothing like that. And, oh, found a pair of shears. Right, that's bad because... that person is now in... that person is now awaiting solitary, I believe. And that's an issue because we don't have solitary. Oh, and there's a photo. There's a photo. We'll also be getting things like page in game as well, I would imagine. Anyway, you can see the builders are cracking on. I haven't went ahead and recruited any more builders. Didn't think it was necessary. You can see it's free time at the moment, but they're just sort of hanging around. There's nothing for them to do. I haven't got anything for them to do, so I'll have to build a common room at some point. Right, over to our rooms and to the office, and obviously we're going to designate all those 3 as officers. Filing cabinet. Oh, that's not a filing cabinet. That's an office desk. Then a filing cabinet, followed by a chair. 3 chairs, job done. Mirror from the other side, not that that's a problem. And I think we'll start researching deployment, psychology. What else do we want? Prison policy, patrols, intelligence. Don't need armory. Cleaning and groundskeeping, we'll have to unlock those as well. Oh, we also have an extra grant now, do we? Yes, we do. Short-term investment, might as well pick that up. And I guess we may as well go for cell block A. Now, this is accurate to my original playing back in the day, I guess, because I still haven't put any flooring in, which is something I always really leave until pretty much at the last moment. So, you know, that's how we're doing this. And I think that will be about right. Obviously, we'll have to note that as cell. This will take us up to 16 cells. So enough for our purposes, I think. I wonder if we can treat them to maybe some phone booths. Let's put a row of phone booths in the middle here. with a wall, like sort of around the outside, because we have done that previously. And we'll have some benches in. Sort of have them dotted around in here. Maybe not that one. That one should do quite nicely. There you are. This one on the left requires some water connections. That's fine. And we have now done that grant. So we've got cell block B, prison maintenance, visitation rights, inmate health and well-being, reform to education. I think we're going to go for visitation rights because that will require things like a visitor area and, you know, alike. The problem with that is yeah, I mean, where am I going to put it? It's going to have to be over here, which is just ridiculous. So, I mean, the only other way is I put a building around here. Potentially. That could be visitation. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, building brick. And visitation. No, that's about right. And then I want a corridor, a single corridor, which will go up and around. No, I'll have to build it like that. And then to there, maybe. Cancel that to there. That's a single corridor. No, hang on, that's wrong. That bit's wrong. That's correct. And that's correct. And we need a way for them to get in. So we'll have something like that. Job done. It'll take a while for them to do that, but they'll get there eventually. So at least yeah, it looks like people are still hanging around here. They are getting fed. In terms of needs, let's have a look. Don't even have needs because I've not got it unlocked. But I can hire a psychologist, so I will do that. Psychology, yes, that's getting done. Oh yeah, cleaning is now done. So let's get a couple of janitors. Gonna get another cook. Gonna get another guard. And let's go to intake. Let's get a total of 8 normal prisoners. Normal category prisoners. A door will go there. And a door will go there. This will have a jail door. Large jail door? Yeah, why not? And that's going to be our visitation room. Also be nice to have some lights outside, so let's do that. Probably should put a jail door there as well. Like that. Yeah, just to stop people running around and such. So we have short-term investment and long-term investment on the go. Long-term investment, 110 hours to go. Short-term, 60 hours. Visitation rights, which will give us 5 grand. And we have 22 grand in order to complete that task, which I think is more than enough. So let's go ahead, put some lighting in here. This little corridor. Quite a... I think it's quite a... quite a... interesting design shape around there. It's also quite claustrophobic, I would find, going down that. Anyway, visitation. Like that. And requires visitor tables. I'm just going to put them back to back, am I? There we are. They're in now. Do we treat ourselves to some flooring? I think we do. Put some grass in here. There we are. Get some concrete tiles in as well. Bit of concrete tiles. Yeah, why not? Down to there. Historically, those were all concrete tiles. That was concrete tiles. All these can be concrete. This is concrete. That's concrete. To there. In here will be a bit fancy with some mosaic. I might treat them to some lighting as well. White tiles in there. White tiles in there. We'll have some fancy tiles in there. Metal. And some fancy tiles. Actually, wooden in the staff room. Yeah, why not? Why not? Ah, alright. That makes it look a bit better, doesn't it? I mean, it's never going to win any awards, but it's in. It's built. And there's another picture that we are collecting that I already have, I think. Why is that staying there? Is that it? I was going to say, is that permanently there now? That would be problematic. Right, we need a common room with some pool tables in it. So building brick. Let's build how long? requires an entrance. It won't once that's done. I think also it would be remiss of me not to build a fence around this. So let's build a fence around this. Like that. Just to stop any people like scarpering while we knock down walls. So overall, so far, it is the game that I played back in the day. I mean, there's no surprises. I didn't expect much, but sorry, I should rephrase that. There was no surprises in terms of what I thought I was going to see. I knew what was in the game and what wasn't. However, what I really enjoy is how lean the game is. I'm not having to scroll through 50 different objects, 100 different materials. I know that's an over-exaggeration, but I don't need lunar surface. You know, it feels more truer to the original intent and idea of the game, the original idea, whereas obviously now we have more options, but it just doesn't, you know, it feels like it's moved away from its original focus, which is fine. You know, it's an 8-year-old game. We expect to, if we want to see more stuff, they're going to have to go further afield to provide new things. I know there's still things that a lot of people request, like multiple layers. Personally, I'm not a fan of that idea. I don't know what it would actually add to the game. I mean, the tropes that they could have gone with extra, they've pretty much run out of, I think. You could go with like urbanized areas and things like that, but I think we're more likely to see a couple of DLCs and then a 2 rather than anything else, which would be interesting to see what a PA 2 would be like. Probably more bugs in it, but there you are. That's a lot of rubbish there. Lots of jobs for them to work on that. Probably should build more stuff in the kitchen here. Cookers, build right along to there. How are we doing for power, actually? Power's fine. Fridges, we'll probably leave a little bit of a gap. And, oh, hang on. Got a bit of violence. Bit of violence! Where? I heard a noise. Ah, disappointing. I heard some noise. Didn't know what it was. Let's do a shakedown. We haven't done one of those in this this video yet. I'm also very aware that I should probably turn off the intake. There's a lot of... It's probably easy to bash the current game, the most modern version, for some of the weird changes and things like that, and you know, still the bugs we've experienced and such, but there has been a lot of improvements made in terms of like the intake and setting out like how you can have filter capacity and stuff like that. I mean, that'll be in the 2018 version, I would assume, as well, actually, to be fair. In terms of policy, you can see we've got things like solitary. I'm going to change that all to lockdown because we just don't have any lockdown, any solitary at the moment. Medium quantity, medium variety for our meals. We have got our grants on the go. Programs we're not yet running, but we do have things like spiritual guidance, parole hearing, alcoholics group therapy, etc. We want to have a room, actually not foundations, building brick, and we'll go for there. Oh, insufficient fundage. Insufficient fundage. That's problematic. Okay. When are my next funds going to be available? In 38 hours. Alright. There is another option. I bring people in and they constantly live in the holding cell. We could do that if we really wanted to go for extra hard mode. We have 1 bottle of booze found, 1 cell phone, 1 tub of drugs there, and a pair of shears. Oh, there's a bottle of poison as well. It would be nice to see where they came from, so let's have a quick look. Oh, there's also some traits as well. Deadly, quick, strong, stalkal, volatile. Yeah, dangers. You can see where stuff can be nicked from there. And we've seen that that's been thrown in, that's been smuggled in, and that's been... I think that's been smuggled in. Yeah, that's been smuggled in from there as well. Oh, fair enough. Anyway, this is now being built along, so we'll obviously extend that down to there. We do need to put the flooring in. Let's put some concrete tiles along. How much do I have in terms of our bank loan? I could get a bank loan up to 2,500, which will give me enough to not build what I want. That'll have to suffice for now then. And yeah, there we go. This is going to be our common room. And will that be about it? 800 remaining. I need 2 TVs and a pool table. I think I'm just going to be shy of that cash, but I am gaining 955 per day. So we're actually in profit still. So that's good, I guess. Looks like the shower is more than big enough for the amount of prisoners that we have. That'll go in there for a common room. Objects required are pool table for 300. And I believe it was 2 televisions. And we actually have enough. There we go. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Another pool table. What else do we want in here? Could have weights benches actually in the gym. We haven't got those. Let's put them along there. Why not? And we'll have a mosaic floor in here. Make it nice and pretty. Now I'm going to put a thing across it. Oh, danger level is going up. Why? Why? Serious complaints. What are their serious complaints? I'm going to guess recreation. Yes, recreation. Well, we are fulfilling that need right now. We are working on that. So as soon as we've got that, we'll be alright. So, yeah. What haven't we got? Deployment? Sweet. Staff only. I much prefer this. I think this is a much cleaner look to what we've seen previously. Oh, what we have now, rather, should I say. I just prefer the way this is laid out. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to designate that, but you can if you wanted to. I know there's no access there as well. And guard patrols. I just think that is a much cleaner look than what we have now. So that person's also been fighting. Injured. We need to heal the prisoner. Where can we heal the prisoner from? Actually, nowhere. We don't have anywhere to heal them. Oh well. So we'd have to build a infirmary. We have another grant though. Oh yeah, there you go. Inmate health and well-being. We can very, very easily build that. So where would that go? Probably, I don't know, maybe have this come down here. Corridor coming right at the back. And then I can have a infirmary and a morgue like that. Probably that'll be alright for the connection there. Actually, oops. 1, 2, 3. No. That. And that. Yep, that's about right. If you're thinking, there's deliberate attempts to make it look all over the place. You're not far wrong. I'm just not caring about any precise planning. I'm just building it like, oh, that'll do. But what is surprising is how quick you can get a working prison with a lot of amenities. Don't know exactly how long we're into the video here, but it doesn't feel like it's a stupidly long one. And we've got prisoners with shower, common room, obviously kitchen, canteen, yard that's stocked, visitation. I mean, it's all in. It's there. What else do we need, actually? Regime. Could change it to work. Put a bit of work time in there. Maybe get a cleaning cupboard in. See, that's the thing. There's work and there's no work/free time. That was one of the better things to be added to the game. Work or free work or free time is a brilliant feature. Once this is in, we'll obviously have to put in the doors. So standard door will go there, and a staff door back there, like that. So concrete tiles all the way along, and then the rest as white tiles. Oh no, hang on, white tiles across there, and because we can, my favourite, ceramic. I think they're just a nice, interesting look. I think for the wiring, it would be straight across there, but that's not happening. Not with the money that I don't have. There you go, that should sort that out. So, rooms, infirmary, and morgue. Morgue requires morgue slab. Don't have it. And we also need some medical beds in this place, but we don't have the option for that either, because insufficient funds. Still have 16 prisoners. Do another shakedown. Why not? Oh, actually found some stuff on that person there. We need to escort them to the cell. Medical ward is build a medical ward, hire 2 doctors. And that shakedown is going quite well. 47 places out of 38 in total. And is there anything else I can get? Well, I do need to decrease my bank loan. Oh, actually, I can increase it. I can increase it, can't I? Because I have an increased credit rating, I believe. What am I looking for? I'm looking for medical bed. 2 medical beds. Morgue slab to go across there. And a doctor. And that should be done now. That'll be our infirmary. I think another medical bed, another couple of medical beds is in order. And then decrease my bank loan to give a 0 bank loan. But our credit rating is such that we can get up to 22,500 generic units of currency. Alright, we still have a grant to pick up, so we could do that. It would be probably... Reform through Education Initiative in this version of the game is practically impossible. Prison maintenance. Okay, let's hire a gardener. There's one of the easiest ones we've ever done. Cell block B, which gives us 27 quid. No, 27,806 generic units of currency. Cool. Well, you know what? That has been quite fun to do, I think. I've checked out the old build. Pretty much the build I remember. Yeah, I remember that bug specifically. The one with the planning. I remember being quite a lean game, which it is. Obviously, we do still have things like, in our bureaucracy, tax relief, offshore tax havens, land expansion, cloning, which is, unlocked there, prison labour, so that's cooking, cleaning, and workshop. Legal for all of your prep and death row, execution, etc. Smaller cells or permanent punishments, and or armory with your tasers and taser rollout and body armour. Remote access. Surveillance I haven't got, but I don't need because obviously I turned off the fog of war, and dogs as well, canine units. Yeah, it's pretty decent play, that. If you want to check this out, then if you want it on Steam, you can do so. As I said, you just go to properties on your on the game on Steam, and then to the beta tab, drop it down. You've got 2 options, 2015 and 2018. I would be interested in checking out the 18 version, although it's going to be this plus, so it'd be just yeah. One could argue that actually the 2020 version is just the 2018 plus, but no, obviously we've had lots of DLC with that, so it is a bit different. But overall, yeah, quite interesting to look back at what we originally played. I don't know if it's been overall fantastic for yourself to check out. Hopefully it's been a bit of a trip down memory lane, but nostalgia if nothing else. It is still playable, I would say. I think you could very easily switch to this mode and get a nice decent play off it. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to be game breaking. Not that you would expect it to either, to be fair, with it being the original early access release. Finished early access one. So yeah, overall, pretty much enjoyed that. I think there could be some slight improvements in the design made. Remember, this is obviously built freeform. There's loads of security problems. I mean, you smash down that door, you're scot-free right to the end there or across. Haven't put walkways in here. Obviously, there's loads of wasted space, places you can't get into. Just things like that, where we've got fencing next to a wall. Lots of stuff that we just wouldn't do now. If it was now, we would get the planning tool out. Alright, we'll measure it. It's it's 80, so we need 40 and 40. There's the middle. Start putting things in symmetrical, think of a theme, do all that. Whereas this one, it's just been liberating to check back at an old build and just, knock a prison up in relatively short amounts of time. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think about that one, whether or not you would like to see more of this, where we would check back the 2018 version, 2015, or if you want to see more of this sort of thing. Either way, I hope it has been enjoying. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.